Tonight the sky over Collinwood glistens with stars, and the moon is full. And yet the night is not peaceful. At the old house on the Collinwood estate, an act of violence will occur before this night is over. An act of violence that will cast another deadly shadow over all our lives.
What are you doing here, Karen?
I came to see Cousin Barnabas.
And now you see him.
But you can't be Barnabas.
But I am.
What's happened to your face? You're so old.
It won't be old much longer. You may scream all you want, but no one will hear you. But don't be afraid of me, my dear. I'm not going to hurt you. I wouldn't do anything to hurt my own flesh and blood.
Carolyn?
Yes.
Do you know where you are?
In Josette Collins' room.
Are you aware of what happened?
Yes.
And how do you feel about it?
I don't know.
Do you feel as if you want to run out of the house?
No.
Do you like being here?
Yes. This is where I belong. Was it really Barnabas who...
Yes, it was Barnabas. You don't know why he had to do what he did.
No.
He had to stop aging to turn back the years.
And I was able to do that for him?
We don't know that yet.
You mean he may still be old?
Well, the aging process may have gone too far. Perhaps nothing could have helped him become young again.
Where is he? I want to see him.
No, you can't see him now.
I said I want to see him. He may need me.
What he needs now is to be left alone. And what you need now is some more rest.
No, I'm all right. Listen. Someone is coming.
Well, it has to be Barnabas.
He depended on me to help him. I hope I haven't failed him. I never want to fail him. Never.
just a minute or two. I thought I'd have a nightcap before going up to bed.
Have you seen Carolyn?
No, why?
I've looked all over the house and I can't find her.
Well, she must be out of the house.
Obviously, but at this hour, where?
Well, Liz, she's had late dates before.
She lets me know when she had the date and when to expect her.
Well, then it must have been a last-minute date, and she forgot to tell you about it.
No. In the first place, that isn't like her. And in the second place, she hasn't been having dates lately. Oh, I only hope
What?
that nothing's happened to her.
Liz, in heaven's name, what are you getting alarmed about? I'm sure there's a perfectly good reason why she's not here.
Roger, if I sound alarmed, it's because her behavior earlier this afternoon disturbed me.
How is she behaving?
Well, she's become more and more concerned about David.
Well, haven't we all?
Yes, but I got the impression that she's beginning to believe some of the things David is saying.
Is that what she said?
Not in so many words, but she did say that she had seen and talked with David's little friend Sarah, and that Sarah had told her that David was telling the truth.
You look rather stunned.
I didn't expect the transformation to happen so quickly.
This isn't the first time you've underestimated my powers, Dr. Hoffman.
Dr. Hoffman?
Yes, my dear Carolyn. Miss Hoffman, eminent historian, is really Dr. Hoffman, blood specialist and psychologist. Does that surprise you?
Yes.
There are many secrets you haven't known before, but you will soon know all of them because you will become a part of them. Do you understand that?
Yes. I understand.
And now, Dr. Hoffman, I would like to speak with Carolyn alone. You must have things to do downstairs. Now tell me, Carolyn, how do you feel?
Very relaxed.
Good. And now that you know the true identity of Dr. Hoffman as well as myself, who will you tell?
Who do you want me to tell?
No one.
Then I will tell no one.
You're quite sure about that?
I will do whatever you want me to do. For you.
Good. Now, there are two things that must be dealt with immediately, and you will help me with both of them.
What are they?
The first concerns Cousin David. You must convince everyone, once and for all, that everything he has said about me is a figment of his imagination.
I understand. And I will take care of it.
Good. And the next concerns Vicky Winters.
Vicky?
Yes. One day very soon she will come into this room, and she will replace the Josette that I lost many years ago.
Vicky will become Josette?
I was in love with the original Josette, and she might one day have returned that love if she hadn't...
Hadn't what?
If she hadn't committed the most foolish act of her life.
Josette killed herself.
Yes. Now I will bring her back in the person of Vicky Winters. And you must help me.
How?
Well, first you must use your own judgment, but there's one thing you must keep in mind.
What is that?
Vicky must do the one thing the original Josette never did. Vicky must come to me willingly.
Very well. I will see that Vicky comes to you. Willingly.
Good.
But what about me?
What about you?
What's going to happen to me?
I don't know what you mean.
What is our relationship going to be?
Since we are of the same blood, I will not give you the same status that I gave Willie. He was a servant, nothing more.
What will I be, if not your servant?
Depending on how well you serve me, your reward will be far greater than Willie's was.
What do you mean?
Serve me well, and I have within my power the ability to give you the gift of eternal life. You must be very careful when you go back to Collinwood.
Careful of what?
Well, you won't be able to completely hide the fact that a change has come over you. They will ask you questions about it.
I will answer their questions until their curiosity has been satisfied. They won't know what has happened.
I'm sure they won't. I have every confidence in you. Good night, my dear.
Good night, Barnabas.
You look very pleased with yourself.
I think I have every reason to be, don't you?
Yes, I suppose you do.
Carolyn can be invaluable to me. I'm only sorry I didn't enlist her services long before this.
Are you quite sure that she can be trusted?
She couldn't betray me even if she wanted to. Well, Doctor, where have you been?
Downstairs in the lab,
What were you doing down there?
preparing an injection. We've got to resume the treatments again. And this time, I must insist on staying on my timetable.
Doctor, you have a bizarre sense of humor. Or you're not nearly as intelligent as I thought you were.
What are you talking about?
Do you really think that I'm willing to resume the experiments after what happened yesterday?
Well, the sudden aging that happened was all your fault. You were the one that insisted on the massive injection.
What difference does it make whether I age suddenly or over a period of a few months?
If we proceed the way I have planned it, you will not age at all.
How do you know that?
Well, because I've calculated.
Don't tell me what you calculated. Tell me what you know. You know that I won't age. Can you guarantee it?
There are no guarantees in scientific experiments, and you know it as well as I do.
Precisely. Which is why we will not continue your curious experiments. They have been a complete waste of my time and yours.
No, they haven't.
Besides, in my present state, there is a guarantee involved.
If you want to live in your present state.
Well, I'd prefer that than becoming a creature as old, withering, and grotesque as I was just a few hours ago.
You're wrong if you think you've been guaranteed eternal life. Think of the risk of discovery.
I have survived that risk up until now, and I will continue to resist it.
Barnabas, why don't we continue the experiments on a conditional basis? Then, if anything goes wrong...
No, Doctor. The experiments are over, and nothing you can say will change my mind.
All right.
And since they are over, I'm afraid that you and I will have very little time for each other from now on.
What does that mean?
I will concentrate my time and energies on making Vicky my next Josette.
Meaning you have no more use for me.
Well, I'm very grateful for what you have tried to do, but now that your efforts have failed, I don't see what good we can do each other anymore.
No, you're wrong, Barnabas. You still need me.
Oh?
Yes. You know very well that you're very vulnerable during the day.
Well, that's very true.
You can't tell me that Carolyn can protect you, because you know that that's impossible.
You're quite right about that. If Carolyn spends too much time here, there will be suspicions aroused. No, I must find a servant somewhere else.
Why? As long as I'm here, I can take care of you during the day.
Well, that's very good of you, Doctor, but I could hardly ask you, a professional woman, to assume the functions of a servant. I wouldn't think of it.
I'm perfectly willing to protect you, Barnabas. I'm not applying for a job as your maid.
Very well, then. I accept your offer until such time as I find a permanent servant.
What time is it now?
It's almost 2:30.
Sure something has happened.
Now, Liz, there's no point in imagining the worst.
Well, if she were all right, she would have phoned me by now. Carol?
Hello, Mother.
Carolyn, you've had your mother worried half the night.
I'm sorry.
Where on earth have you been?
I went for a walk.
A walk? When?
Oh, it must have been about 8 o'clock.
You've been out walking alone since 8 o'clock.
Yes.
But why?
I was very upset about the talk I had with David earlier today. I just wanted to be alone and try to think of something I might do to help him. I didn't know I would be gone so long. I'm sorry.
It's all right. As long as nothing happened to you.
What could have happened to me?
I don't know, but I was terribly worried something had. Would you like something to eat?
No, I'm not hungry. Good night, Uncle Roger. Good night, Mother.
Good night, darling. Carolyn, your hands and face are like ice.
I know. I'm going upstairs and take a warm bath and go right to bed. Good night.
Well, it's 2:30. I think I, too, shall retire.
Roger, something did happen to her.
What are you talking about?
She was anything but herself just now.
Well, apparently she's a little more concerned about David than we thought she was.
No. It's more than that.
What else could it be?
I don't know. But being upset about David wouldn't be enough to make her act like she's a stranger in her own house.